Breaking news for Steelers Nation. The Pittsburgh Steelers are making moves, and today's roster shuffle has fans talking. 3 new faces are walking into the building: Cam Alexander, Jake McQuaide, and Julian Pearl. At the same time, the team is parting ways with Rock Taylor, Braden Fio, and Devin Harper. That's right, 3 signings, 3 cuts. A defensive back, a long snapper, and an offensive tackle are in, while a wide receiver, defensive tackle, and linebacker are heading out. Before we dive deeper into the story, a quick reminder: before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and don't forget to ring the bell icon so you never miss a Steelers update. Now let's move on to the new news. Let's start with one of the tougher goodbyes: wide receiver Rock Taylor. Fans had high hopes for him. He wasn't drafted but showed flashes of real potential in the preseason. Multiple catches per game, close to 40 yards a night, he was solid. Many thought he might actually fight his way onto the roster. But today, in a move that caught a lot of people off guard, the Steelers decided to let him go. It's one of those decisions that reminds us sometimes talent isn't enough when roster spots are tight. Rock Taylor's time with the Steelers ends here for now. He won't be part of the final 53-man roster. Could he find his way back later through the practice squad or maybe as an emergency addition down the road? Absolutely possible, but as of today, his journey in Pittsburgh is over. Now let's shift from the farewells to the new arrivals, starting with Cam Alexander. This is a player who's been on the move recently. Just days ago, Alexander was with the Seattle Seahawks, but when they released him, Pittsburgh wasted no time. No tryout, no hesitation, the Steelers signed him on the spot. Alexander entered the league as an undrafted rookie in the 2025 draft. He's already had stints with both the Atlanta Falcons and Seattle, gaining valuable experience in training camps. Physically, he checks a lot of boxes. At 5'10" and 183 pounds, with a wingspan over 76 inches, he's got the frame coaches like in a defensive back. His speed is no joke either, clocking a 4.48 in the 40-yard dash, paired with an eye-popping 41.5-inch vertical and an 11'1" broad jump. Before turning pro, Alexander took a winding path through college football. He spent time at UTSA and Sam Houston State before transferring to Oregon. Last year with the Ducks, he appeared in 12 games. While his numbers weren't flashy, his athletic profile and versatility made him a player worth keeping an eye on. During his season with Oregon, Cam Alexander managed just 4 tackles and a single interception, but it was a big one, snagged against Purdue. Before transferring to the Ducks, though, his story looked brighter. At UTSA, he earned first-team All-American Athletic Conference honors and was even named Frisco Bowl Defensive MVP in 2023 against Marshall. So what happened? His production dipped after the transfer, and that likely played a role in him going undrafted. Still, his athletic tools are undeniable. Will he crack the Steelers' final roster? That's a long shot. But does he have a chance to prove himself in camp, maybe fight for a practice squad spot, especially with depth concerns in the secondary? Absolutely. And that's why Cam Alexander is now wearing black and gold. Now let's move on to another fresh face, Jake McQuaide. The Steelers brought him in out of necessity. Their current long snapper, Christian Kuntz, went down with an injury in the last game. And while we don't yet know the full severity, it's serious enough to force a move. Enter McQuaide, a true veteran at a specialized position. He's been in the NFL since 2011, carving out a career that many overlook but teams can't live without. Long snappers usually only get noticed when something goes wrong, but McQuaide has built his reputation on being steady, consistent, and invisible in the best possible way. Jake McQuaide isn't just a fill-in, he's a seasoned pro. Last season, he snapped in 7 games, 3 for the Dolphins and 4 with the Vikings. Over his career, he suited up for nearly 200 games, earned 2 trips to the Pro Bowl with the Rams, and most recently appeared in 9 games for the Lions in 2023. What makes this move interesting is that Pittsburgh actually released another long snapper just earlier this week. Instead of circling back to him, they went straight for McQuaide. That choice speaks volumes. Mike Tomlin and the staff clearly value the security that comes with a veteran who's been through almost every game situation you can imagine. It might not be the flashiest position, but long snapping is one of those hidden details that can make or break a game. A single bad snap can flip field position, give the opponent easy points, and change the outcome in an instant. With McQuaide, the Steelers know they're putting someone reliable in charge while Christian Kuntz recovers. And of course, everyone's hoping Kuntz's injury isn't too serious. Now let's move to the final new signing, offensive tackle Julian Pearl. Pearl began his NFL journey with the Baltimore Ravens, signing as an undrafted free agent after the 2024 draft. Julian Pearl's road to Pittsburgh has taken a few turns. After his time with Baltimore, he also spent short stints with Minnesota and Cleveland. Before that, at Illinois, Pearl built a solid reputation, earning all Big Ten honorable mention honors in back-to-back seasons 2022 and 2023, and finishing his college career with an impressive streak of 23 straight starts. Now, he's wearing black and gold. But where does he fit? Realistically, breaking into the Steelers' offensive line rotation will be tough. Those spots are mostly locked in. Still, Pearl isn't here for nothing. He's fighting for a place on the practice squad, a chance to prove he belongs, and maybe even to earn a call-up later in the season if injuries hit. For a young tackle, those opportunities can be career-defining. As for Jake McQuaide, his situation looks more immediate. If Christian Kuntz's injury sidelines him for an extended stretch, McQuaide has every chance to take over as the starting long snapper. With nearly 200 career games under his belt, he brings the kind of reliability coaches crave, especially at a position where one mistake can change the course of a game. So between Pearl's developmental potential and McQuaid's veteran stability, the Steelers have added both youth and experience to their roster puzzle. Of all three new additions, the one with the strongest chance to stick is Jake McQuaide, simply because of the uncertainty around Christian Kuntz's injury. The Steelers clearly needed stability at long snapper, and McQuaide brings exactly that. But while new names arrive, others had to go. We've already covered Rock Taylor's departure, an unpopular move among fans who are rooting for the young receiver. Now let's turn to the other two cuts, Breiden Fehoko and Devin Harper. Fejoko's journey in Pittsburgh has been on again, off again for a while. He's bounced between the practice squad and the active roster, most recently being signed again just last week to suit up in the preseason. He's also transformed himself physically, shedding over 40 pounds in the offseason while still keeping his size and strength as a run stuffer. The effort was there, but the Steelers' defensive line is simply loaded with talent. In the end, Fehoko became the odd man out. As for Devin Harper, his story mirrors the same reality, too much depth at his position. The Steelers' linebacker room is already crowded, especially on the inside. There's so much depth there that even players like Mark Robinson aren't guaranteed a spot. That's the reality Devin Harper ran into, talent or not. The numbers game just worked against him. The same goes for Breiden Fehoko. He's been in and out of Pittsburgh before, and it wouldn't be surprising if he found his way back again, maybe on the practice squad. Both players are capable, but for now the roster math made them expendable. So, to sum it up, three new faces enter: Cam Alexander, Jake McQuaide, and Julian Pearl. Three others say goodbye: Rock Taylor, Breiden Fehoko, and Devin Harper. It's the constant churn of the NFL, where every move matters and competition never stops. The question now is simple: which of these new signings has what it takes to make the roster, and which departures will the team feel most? Only time and the season ahead will answer that.